It may come to as a surprise, but the T-72 is still widely used to this day. Even during the 70s and 80s, it was thought that the T-72 was very vulnerable. The T-72 is a Soviet-designed main battle tank, first entered service in the early 1970s. It was developed as a successor to the T-64, aiming to create a simpler, reliable, and more affordable vehicle that could be mass-produced in large numbers. At the height of the Cold War, the Soviet Union needed a tank that could balance firepower, protection, and mobility for its mainly conscript army, while also being easy to manufacture and maintain. The result was the T-72, a tank that would go on to become one of the most produced tanks in the world, second probably to the T-55, which we talked about in the previous video. Let's start with the design of the T-72. The T-72 features a low-profile silhouette which makes it harder to detect and hit on the battlefield. One of its most distinctive features is its autoloading system. Unlike many Western tanks that require a crew of 4, the T-72 operates with just 3 crew members, a commander, a gunner, and a driver. The autoloader automatically feeds ammunition into the gun, eliminating the need for a human loader, which might decrease the time for reloading shells. This design reduces the size of the tank and allows for a smaller turret, but it also comes with trade-offs. For example, the ammunition is stored under the turret, which can make the tank vulnerable and detonate all the ammunition if penetrated, such as in the case of turret toss. In terms of firepower, the T-72 is equipped with a 125mm 2A46 smoothbore gun, capable of firing a variety of ammunition types, including APF-SDS, armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding saber rounds, those being 3BM15, 3BM22, and for newer models 3BM42 Mango. Heat FS rounds, that being 3BK12M, and high explosive shells, that being 3OF26. This gives it sufficient offensive capability against both armored and non-armored targets. When it comes to protection, the T-72 uses a combination of steel armor in the T-72 Ural version, and in later variants, composite armor for the T-72A and export variant, that being a mix of cast homogeneous armor and quartz core. Contact 1 explosive reactive armor, and utilizing cast homogeneous armor and combined armor with reflective plates, which increased survivability in the case of early T-72B and T-72B 1989 variants. Contact 5 explosive reactive armor was introduced on the T-72B 1989 and still used in the T-72B3, often referred to as ERA. These upgrades were introduced to improve survivability against modern anti-tank weapons like the TOW and other anti-tank weapons, but unfortunately I only know the TOW missile, the 8GM. Mobility is another key strength of the T-72. Powered by a V12 diesel engine, the model specifically for the T-72 and all other T-72 variants being the V46. It can reach speeds of around 60 km per hour on roads, and it's relatively lightweight compared to Western tanks, allows it to maneuver over easily across different types of terrain. Although the same can be said when it has to reverse out of combat with a reverse speed of -4 km an hour. Now about its global impact. The T-72 was not only used by the Soviet Union, but also exported to many countries around the world and alongside in the Warsaw Pact, as the T-72M and T-72M1 models. Yugoslavia, now modern-day Serbia, has their own model of the T-72 called the M84. It has seen combat in numerous conflicts, including the Iran-Iraq War, the Gulf War, the Croatian War of Independence, the 10-Day War, the Bosnian War, the 2001 insurgency in North Macedonia, and more recent conflicts in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Its widespread use is largely due to its affordability and simplicity. Many countries continue to operate upgraded versions of the T-72 even today, with Syria modernizing it to have second-generation thermals for the gunner and commander, along with the TURMS-T fire control system. However, the tank has also faced criticism. In conflicts such as the Gulf War, T-72s operated by the Iraqi forces, still loyal to Saddam Hussein, were outmatched by more advanced Western tanks like the American M1 Abrams and the British Challenger tank. These encounters highlighted limitations in its armor, fire control systems, and night fighting capabilities. Despite these shortcomings, the T-72 remains an important part of military history, its design philosophy, prioritizing mass production, simplicity, and effectiveness, reflects the strategic thinking of Soviet era. In conclusion, the T-72 is more than just a tank. It's a symbol of Cold War engineering and military doctrine, alongside obviously with the Soviet Union. Its influence can still be seen today, as many modern tanks, including Russia's newest design, mostly those being the T-90A and T-90M variants, built upon the concept first introduced from the T-72. Just as a side note for anyone criticizing me at this point, the T-80 variants were supposed to be a much more expensive version of the T-72 and to be used by more highly trained crews, replacing the V12 engine with a gas turbine as seen on the M1 Abrams. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.